Hi, everybody. Welcome to another video. And this one is going to be related to the prior ones in terms of major theme. And we talked about doing breathing exercises and other psychological techniques that can change our mood, can change our behavior. That's hard to do. And it's even harder to do when we don't have the proper lifestyle. I refer to this as psychological reserve. That is, anything that depletes our psychological reserve, that makes it more difficult for us to deal with stress, to implement our goals, to move forward in our lives, complicates our life. And we've developed bad habits that we try to control. And they can come from a variety of reasons. In the last videos, we discussed even early adversities in this regard that might lead to alcohol overuse. Who knows what other bad habits might get in the way. And competing against all this is our desire for good habits. So how are we going to maximize our good habits and control our bad habits? Well, as indicated in the prior videos, everything is biopsychosocial. And there's going to be biological factors and early adversity factors, the bio and the social, that make it harder to get good habits on the way and harder to inhibit bad habits. But the middle portion of the equation, biopsychosocial, is about ourselves and our motivation and our coping skills and our social skills. And what we want for ourselves, the good things anyway, that we want for ourselves. And we can do breathing exercises to imagine that we are increasing those skills, that we're getting things under control, and that we're moving forward. But it's going to be harder if we're not sleeping well. It's going to be harder if we're drinking too much alcohol. It's going to be harder if we're eating snack foods instead of healthy foods. It's going to be harder if we're not engaging in leisure activities and getting relaxing activities going. And it's going to be harder if we're not socializing appropriately. So we want good sleep and work on that and anything that interferes. We want good food and working on that and anything that interferes. We want good leisure and working on that and anything that interferes, good hobbies. We want good physical exercise and anything that interferes with that. Walking, hiking, whatever it is, cycling. We want a good social life and controlling anything that interferes with that. These are some of the variables that go into a healthy lifestyle, and I'm sure you know others. We all read about them. The hard part is implementing them and getting control. It's the whole unity. Knowing what we want, just not only for ourselves psychologically, but to keep our body and mind integrated in a healthy lifestyle manner such that getting what we want is easier in terms of positives, controlling bad habits is easier, and getting going on good habits is easier. The less we're tired, the more exercise we do, the better food we eat, the better leisure we have, the better social life we have. Of course, all in balance with our responsibilities of the day, including raising our children, going to work, studying, whatever your daily life roles are. We're in balance over several of them. We don't want to just succeed in our daily life roles. We want to succeed in the balance and all these other factors that can reduce our coping skills and make it easier for stress to overwhelm us and make it easier for bad habits to overtake good habits and so on. So you work on those, what I call the psychological reserve and all those components we talked about in a healthy lifestyle, and that'll help you cope better, control stress better, and get going on your positive habits better. Work on them yourselves, do a lot of reading, and do some control exercises as well. For example, for alcohol, I might have my patients imagine going for a glass. I'm not taking the drink right away. Just holding on. Same with a cigarette. Just waiting and waiting and increase the waiting as they do their breathing exercises and get self-control. Self-control is something that we can increase. So we use self-control to increase our self-control. Do it. And in the end, we want to feel that we have a sense of control of ourselves. We want to have a sense of control in our environment, of what's around us. And that's much easier when we have a better and stronger psychological reserve to deal with stress and to have better coping skills. So that's the lesson for the day. Just work on that as part of the whole. It's not the answer, it's part of the big picture that we're talking about. Thank you for listening.